Hello everyone, welcome to this week's edition of Heard That. Zach Barnes here for the WT Sports Network. It's going to be a very big week in WT Athletics with multiple teams right now looking at championships in postseason. Again, track and field heading to Birmingham, Alabama for the Indoor National Championships with 3 guys for the Buffs heading down and 6 of the Lady Buffs heading down. We would like to wish the best of luck to them starting on Thursday. We'd also like to wish a big congratulations to Relly Caputin, who's named the South Central Region Female Field Athlete of the Year.
It's a festival year, so it's going to be a big setup. They got wrestling and diving and swimming all in the same venue, and obviously in Birmingham they have a world-class facility. The facility is probably the best indoor facility that I've been to. It's going to be an exciting time for our kids. I'm glad that they get to go and experience something like this. We're looking pretty good. We're a little, we're not as fully loaded on the men's side as we have been in the past. And Abraham, our triple jumper, has been battling a little bit of injury since LSC. So I think we're going in on the men's side a little thin. So we need our guys there to really have a great weekend in order to make an impact. On the women's side, obviously we're a little deeper in the throws and in the jumps. And we'll have Kennedy Hudson in the 60 and Victoria Roush in the 60 hurdles. And we're hoping for those girls to step up big and sneak in a final. I think if they can, and our jumpers and throwers do what they need to do on the women's side, we could find ourselves top 5, as a top 5 team. Relly, she has a chance to medal in all 3, high jump, long jump, and triple jump. And we need her to have a big weekend, and I know she's excited. And she's a gamer, very consistent, and I think she's up for the challenge.
Monday and yesterday, Buffalo Golf, busy over in Florida for the Panther Invitational. The Buffs ended up finishing 10th in Florida as Angel Aguirre ended up with a top performance for the Buffs. Up next for Buff Golf on the 27th and 28th, they'll head down to St. Edwards for the St. Edwards Invitational. And up for Lady Buff Golf on the 13th and 14th, they'll head to Wichita Falls for the Midwestern State Invitational. On last week's episode, we mentioned a little bit about WT Equestrian winning their Western Regional Championship. Well, this last weekend, they got another one winning the Hunt Regional Championship for the first time in 6 years. Up next for WT Equestrian on March 25th and 26th, they will be hosting one more event before Nationals, as they will host the Western semifinal as the qualifier for Nationals. Buff and Lady Buff basketball in the postseason, as last weekend they went to Allen for the Lone Star Conference Championship Tournament. On the Lady Buff side, they started off well with the 61-53 win over the number 6 seed Texas Women's. Then after that, the Lady Buffs saw the number 2 seed Angelo State, where they ended up losing a tight one, 70-68.
Really just prepped for postseason, continued postseason play. When you're playing a conference team 3 times, it's a dogfight, slugfest, however you want to term it. And it's mental, physical focus, and it wears you down a little bit. And so if you can get through our conference tournament, which we've always said this, you're going to definitely be prepared for the NCAA tournament.
Then on the Buffs side, they saw a tough Texas A&M Kingsville to start off and ended up losing that one 68-63.
Well, Kingsville, is, what are they? They're number 7 in the region, and so we lost to a pretty good team. And, in this conference, in the game of basketball, if you don't execute, if you don't, you don't take care of the ball, if you have, 10, 12, 15 turnovers, that's going to come back and bite you at some point in time. If you don't box out, you don't rebound, it's going to bite you. And we just missed a lot of little things. And Kingsville did a lot of little things right. They knocked down some big shots, but they made some free throws. They took care of the ball, and they made their free throws at the end. And I think we had it to 2. We had to foul. They pushed it back to 4, and we could just never get back into it. So, I'm not that disappointed at all with the loss. Obviously, any loss, we expect to win every game, but when you lose to a good team, sometimes you just tip your hat and hey, they were better that night.
Up next for both teams, it's do or die, as both teams did make it to the South Central Region Championship Tournament. Lady Buffs getting the number 4 seed as they will head to Colorado State Pueblo, and they will see the number 5 seed Regis.
I don't think it tilts us one way or the other. It's nice to play a non-Lone Star Conference team, see a new face, kind of prepare for a new team. Regis has had a really good year, and that coach is, I believe, in her second year and is doing a really good job there. And they have a few really solid players that have really propelled them this season. They have a post player who's about 6'3", 6'4", who's thick, big kid, who's really a big inside presence for them. And then a few guards that can really score the basketball well.
On the men's side, they got the number 3 seed and will head to Golden, Colorado, and their first opponent will be the number 6 seed, Texas A&M Commerce.
Yeah, I thought we'd get Commerce, to be very honest. I thought that's kind of where it was matching up after the first round of the LSC tournament, unless something really crazy happened. But, you know, it's going to be a tough opponent. We played over there, and they got us by a couple in overtime, and then we got them by a few here at our place. So we split in the regular season. It's going to be a really tough game. That whole side of our bracket is LSC, and it's like a little mini LSC tournament just to get to the Sweet 16. You know, I think no matter what, whether you know the team or not, it's execution, and you've got to be able to execute, and we've got to be able to get the ball inside, outside a little bit more. We can't just rely on our three-point shot. We were a little bit cold in the Kingsville game, and it bit us. You know, Kingsville, give them a lot of credit. They were, I think, 50% from the three-point line, but we're still going to shoot threes. I mean, that's not going to go away at all. But we've got to be able to get out and run a little bit. I think Commerce likes to do that too, so I think it'll be an up and down game. But it's going to come down to who can execute, especially at the end of the game.
Of course, live stats and streaming will be available for those. Links will be at gobuffsgo.com. WT Baseball with a pretty solid weekend heading to Stephenville on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Buffs went down to see the Texans of Tarleton State for what counted as a non-conference matchup, as we still have a couple weeks until conference play will officially begin. Buffs ended up winning 3 games out of the 4, winning Friday night, splitting Saturday, and winning Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, I thought day one, I thought we played really well. The first game, obviously, Marshall threw really well again. He gave up some runs late just because kind of had a lead, and he kind of just put some right over the middle of the plate in bad counts and stuff, and their guys took advantage of it. But all in all, I thought he threw really well again. And that's something that we've come to expect out of him the last couple of weeks. And then, I thought game 2, I thought Payne started off really well, and then just we made some mistakes behind him in the second inning. We just wasn't able to regroup in that inning, and they put up a big number, and we just wasn't able to come back from that. But other than that, I mean, I really thought the entire weekend, besides the one inning in game 2, I thought we played pretty good baseball, especially for some of the conditions, especially in game 3, and then even in game 4, I mean, the field was a little bit wet and everything. So I thought all in all, the guys played really well against a really good team. I mean, Tarleton's, obviously they were number 15 in the country, and they're a big physical team, and they're going to win a lot of ball games this year.
Lady Buff softball also down in Stephenville, but theirs was a conference matchup against the Texans in a 3-game series. Lady Buffs ended up going 1-2 on the weekend, losing the Friday game 0-1. Then they only played a single game on Saturday, still losing that one. And then the rain ended up pushing the final game of the weekend to Sunday, where the Lady Buffs were able to crank out a win.
Well, actually, there are some positives because we had a chance to win all 3. When you talk about Friday's first game, we're down. It's a 0-0 ball game going into the 7th, but we had runners on second and third in the first inning, and chance to score some runs, and that didn't happen. We left the bases loaded a couple of times, so a key hit here or there, we had a chance to win that game. It was a great pitcher's game. Kylie Halbert and Haley Fryman hooked up, and it was a really good game to watch if you like pitching. And they just got fortunate to hit a ground ball through and win that one. And we come out on Saturday, and if we catch a fly ball in the first inning, it's 0-0 at the end of the first inning. We didn't, and they score 5 runs, and they win that game 7-3. So probably could have won both of those, and didn't play exceptionally well, but didn't play that bad. And then of course rain set in, and we came back yesterday, and I thought we got a character win yesterday. Go out and get a 4-0 lead, and that got taken away. But Cruz hits a big home run in the 6th, and Alfonso did a great job in relief. So. Other than the fact we weren't as offensive as we could have been, we pitched the ball well. Defensively, we made a few more mistakes than we need to, but we're a young team, and we're still learning how to win. And we've lost some games against good opponents, and that's something we got to get through. But we're in a good situation at 4-2, and we just need to continue to play and continue to get better.
Coming up for both baseball and softball, they will both be home this weekend on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The Buffs will see Texas A&M Kingsville for a 4-game series that will not be a conference matchup. We'll start on Friday at 6:30 with a doubleheader on Saturday starting at 4, and then a single game on Sunday at 1.
Yeah, I mean, Kingsville, again, they were a regional tournament team from last year. They're extremely talented. I think they're undefeated right now, playing really good baseball. They'll be one of the toughest teams in the region, so it's a huge weekend for us. I mean, just because they're not conference games, they're still extremely important, just as important as the conference games. I mean, we're looking at hopefully making another regional tournament to run and hopefully being able to host that a regional this year. So in order to do those things, you got to win games at home.
Then the Lady Buffs will also have a 4-game series. They will be seeing Western New Mexico. There'll be a doubleheader on Friday and on Saturday, but the first game on Friday will not count as a conference game.
Well, I do not look at their record because they're a much better team than their record. They went extra innings with Texas Women's this weekend. They played a couple competitive games at home last weekend with Angelo State, so I think they're kind of getting the feel of being in the Lone Star Conference, and that may not be easy for them, but I expect them to come in and be competitive. I think it's going to be good for us to be at home. I think we are a different team at home than we are on the road, which isn't a good thing, but at least we're at home and get to be that team for 4 games and hopefully be comfortable. So I think it's going to be a good, solid weekend. Hopefully the weather looks like it's supposed to be pretty good, so we can have some big crowds and get a lot of energy going, and it should be a good weekend for softball.
It's also a very special weekend for Buff and Lady Buffs here at Wilder and Schaefer Park, as it is going to be youth weekend, so anybody under 18 gets in for $1 for both baseball and softball throughout the weekend. It's also Play for the Panhandle.
This is Kevin Blaskowski, the head softball coach at West Texas A&M.
And I'm Matt Vandenberg, the head baseball coach here at West Texas A&M.
The West Texas A&M Athletic Department is honored to join with the WT Agricultural Department as the Buffs and Lady Buffs play for the Panhandle this weekend at Wilder Park and Schaefer Park. We're going to collect donations and supplies for those affected by the ongoing tragic wildfires here in the Texas Panhandle. The events of the past week have had a devastating effect on the Panhandle region and the great people who call this area home. In line with the Panhandle spirit, both the WT softball and baseball programs want to do what we can to recognize both the losses and those great people who risked their lives battling these raging fires. We ask everyone to come out and show their support this weekend, because I am proud to be a resident of this great region, and our programs are proud to play for the Panhandle this weekend. God bless the Panhandle. There will be a donation area located outside of the main entrance to Wilder and Schaefer Parks this weekend, so fans are encouraged to help those affected by providing monetary contributions or basic necessities. Any person that provides some sort of donation will receive free admission to either baseball or softball at Buffalo Sports Park. Any member of the local fire department is also welcome to join us this weekend free of charge.
It's hard to comprehend the loss that the Panhandle has suffered during these tragic wildfires. The firefighters, homeowners, and everyone involved are in our thoughts and prayers. We have such a great support system of the incredible people in the Panhandle that make up Buff Nation, and we are honored to be able to give back to them in their time of need. The Texas Panhandle has been devastated with wildfires over the past few days, and the hard work of firefighters from around the area is still ongoing. Along with over 500,000 acres of land that has been burned there, have been WT alumni, students, and supporters living in the area who have lost houses, cattle, and tragically, some have lost their lives. WT and the Texas Panhandle is known for taking care of their own, and this is no different. The WT Agricultural Department has donation boxes in their main offices collecting basic necessities. Donations for those that have lost livestock or their homes are greatly welcome.
We'd like to thank you for joining us this week on Heard That. Don't forget, this weekend at Wilder Park and Schaefer Park, baseball and softball are teaming up with the WT Agriculture Department, collecting donations with the recent events of the wildfires here in the Texas Panhandle. Don't forget to keep up with your favorite Buff and Lady Buff sports on GoBuffsGo.com, and come back here every Wednesday for Heard That. For the WT Sports Network, I'm Zach Barnes. We'll see you next week.